Hello and welcome to the November 3rd, 2011 edition of NewsWatch. I'm Kevin Rounds.
And I'm Tara Kletke. Coming up, we'll see why a house is on fire on University Way this weekend.
Also, what the Kittitas Valley Community Hospital is doing for Diabetes Awareness Month.
All this and more coming up on NewsWatch. A mass of protesters gathered with bullhorns and picket signs Wednesday afternoon to continue protesting President Gaudino's receiving a retention incentive.
Here is Kim Fairbanks with more.
I think he's taking the
Students gathered outside the CWU Student Union and Recreation Center Wednesday afternoon to protest for a second time President James Gaudino receiving a $500,000 bonus. First-year master's student David Douglas has organized and led the protest via Facebook.
The need for another protest is what happened in the president's office is we wanted to get questions answered, get justification for the incentive, retention bonus, whatever they're wanting to call it. We ended up walking away with more questions than answers.
Brian Grimmer, a history and sociology major at CWU, also came out to voice his opinion on the situation.
Not done that much for us as a college president. A $500,000 bonus with $15,000 a year of interest on that, it's kind of disturbing. To be honest with you, it pisses me off.
Earlier this month, the Board of Trustees voted to approve what they are calling a retention incentive. The Faculty Senate has voted to send a letter to Governor Christine Gregoire. However, legally, the governor cannot make the Board of Trustees renege the retention incentive.
Test is just protesting the bonus in general. It seems directed at the president, but it's the president, the Board of Trustees, and this $500,000 bonus in general, that anyone could even fathom that this would be a conscionable decision to make in the current economic environment.
Brian Grimmer encourages others to get out and take action.
I believe if more people step out, speak up, they too can achieve their goals in civic action as well.
This is Kim Fairbanks reporting for NewsWatch.
The Kittitas County Election Commission is reporting that 5,418 ballots have been received by the Postal Service. This number is about 26% of the 54% anticipated.
Two of the more contested positions for this election is the Ellensburg School District 4 and Ellensburg Council position number 3. The Ellensburg School District, Chuck Whale, is defending his position. Whale wants the best for his students in the district despite what's going on in Morgan Middle School. Andrew Johnston is a staunch opponent, has written many letters to the Daily Record saying Morgan Middle School has problems with mismanagement.
Running for re-election, Fennell Miller wants to plan for the future rather than focus on short-term acts of desperation. Opponent Mary Morgan believes that part of the community isn't being heard, and they should be. General election ballots are due November 8th. All pictures are courtesy of the Daily Record. Ellensburg residents expect an expensive winter to come. The Ellensburg Utility Advisory Committee is sending an electricity rate increase proposal to the City Council this week. Committee Director Bob Titus says the increase is more than $3 extra per month and goes into effect in December. Residential customers pay 5.5% more monthly, and commercial customers will pay 2.5% more.
Were you wondering why fire lit up University and D Street this weekend? Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue was on the scene along with NewsWatch reporter Camber Benatua, who has the story.
The Ellensburg community lined the streets of University Way this past Saturday, watching the Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue Team in anticipation of their test burn. But for senior Central Washington University student and volunteer firefighter Kyle Butterfield, this was just another routine day to mark down in his emerging career.
I've grown up with it. My dad's a fireman, so been around it my whole life. Live fire is nothing better than practicing the real thing. This is what you're going to be doing when you get into real situations.
Central Washington University purchased this land on University and D Street from the Hattlestead Investment Group back in 2010. Originally, the plan was to move the houses and restore them because of their historical value to the city. The house they're burning today was built around 1920. After finding that it wasn't financially possible to move the houses, the investment group found a way to benefit the community by allowing Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue to conduct test burns.
These are called acquired structural training burns. We do 3 to 4 of them a year. We try to do 1 or 2 each fall for new firefighters. It's a legal requirement that we take new firefighters through live fire training before we actually put them into a situation where they might actually fight a fire. So we can do this in a couple different ways. We can take everybody to North Bend, or we can take everybody to Yakima. But in terms of realism and in terms of cost, this is by far the best way to deliver this training.
These are the funnest things, training burns, practice burns. Nice to get the real experience like this. So.
CW officials are saying they haven't decided on a plan for this property yet. If you want to see the Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue in action, you can come check out the second test burning happening this Saturday, November 5th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm Camry Benatua reporting for NewsWatch.
Washington's Fish and Wildlife Commission is holding a public meeting in Spokane today, discussing the management plan for wolves. Farmers and ranchers are expressing concerns about the livestock that may be lost while allowing the wolves to populate. Currently, there are 5 wolf packs in Washington, 2 being in Kittitas County. Once 15 breeding packs are established, wolves will be taken off the endangered species list. Coming up on NewsWatch, find out about a new program that brings awareness of texting to drivers.
Also, the Kittitas County Health Department expects to make cuts from their budget. Don't go anywhere.